The mender never called for customers. People brought her what was broken, and she never ran out of work to do. A ball cracked through the glaze, a teapot that had lost its handle and most of its dignity. She brought all of them to their former glory in one way or another. The children came. They adored the old lady because she would always tell them stories about the world around them that seemed vast and hard to understand. Even if she seemed to be very busy, she always found time for them and always had something to say. She started to polish a broken handle with a piece of cloth that seemed to be shimmering. The crack slowly started to disappear. "Does it work on everything?" asked one of the boys. He seemed 6 at most. "No." She put away a teapot, a handle looking like it was brand new. "On some things, but not on everything." She picked another item. "You'd be surprised how many people bring me half a thing and look hopeful." The girl laughed. "Did someone really do that?" "This morning. Lovely man. His hair was long and washed, his dark blue robes of equality. He brought me a broken dagger handle, but nothing else, no blade." She started to fill in the gaps in the broken vase. "Where's the rest of it?" I said. "He didn't know, lost it years ago. So now he's the proud owner of a broken dagger handle." The children liked her. You could tell because they kept inching closer to her without realizing they were doing it. "Was there ever something here you couldn't fix, even if you had all the pieces?" the girl asked. The mender slowed, set the vase she was working on down, and picked a bowl with a dent that looked as if someone bit into it. "There was a broken thing in this town once," she said, "a long while ago. Longer than the 3 of you put together. Then one day, it wasn't. Someone bought it? Or maybe threw it away?" "I don't think so." "Then where did it go?" the boy asked. He was stuffing his face with meat buns for a longer while, only now finding a breath to participate in conversation. "And if it's gone, how do you know it was there?" "Oh, listen to him." She pointed her finger at him, pleased. "That's the right question. You know the bend past the south gate? The river bend, where the water goes quiet and the light sits wrong on it, even at noon?" They nodded. Everyone knew it. For some reason, the reflection of light on the water always looked as if the river was bending another way. No one knew why, but some people swear they could sometimes hear a girl's voice saying that the river goes the other way it does nearby. She turned the bowl in her hands. "Things were placed down. They leave a mark. You know somebody was there." "My nan sees people," the boy said. "People that aren't there." The kids went quiet. "A young woman mostly, I assume," she said. "Drifts the stalls, buys nothing. A handsome fellow half a step behind her the whole time. Hand never far off her shoulder." He looked straight at them and the row's empty. The boy gulped and nodded. "People were placed down the same way as feet do. You catch them when the light's going and you're not looking properly." She set the bowl down. "Something was here. Something very broken. I lived next to it long enough to be sure of that much." "Why didn't anyone fix it?" the girl asked. "Or keep it?" "Too big to fix. Too foreign to pull out. And some things you don't get to keep. Because they were never yours. You just lived near them a while." She glanced at them, half a smile. "Same as you lot. You're not mine. You just won't leave my workshop alone." That got a laugh. She let it settle, then said mostly to the bowl in her hands, "I wonder, sometimes, if it's found its owner." "It had an owner?" 3 of them at once. "Everything broken had an owner, or was one." She looked up. "What do you think? Would they be glad to get it back?" The children debated this. The mender listened to all of it, nodding gravely as if taking notes. "I'll tell you what I think," she said when they had worn themselves out. I think a piece wants to go home. I think it wants to be where it belongs. You're allowed to think things at my age. How does a piece know which owner is the right one? The mender's hands stopped. She looked at the child properly. It was a better question than the girl knew, and the mender was old enough to know it, and you could see her decide to answer honestly instead of easily. It doesn't, maybe, she said. Maybe it just feels which way is back, same way water knows down, and birds where to run from the frost. But what if the owner is broken too? Ah, the mender sat the bowl down, held the girl's eyes. Then I think the piece going home and the owner being mended are the same thing, she said gently. And neither of them knows it. They just feel the pull and follow it, and one day there's a little less missing than there was. The boy asked if he could try the drill and was told absolutely not. The questions moved on to whether the staples hurt the bowl, and she said Clay doesn't feel a thing, and they were all openly disappointed in her. When they'd scatter, she held the mended bowl to the lantern. You could see exactly where it had broken and exactly where it had been put back, but it was a hole again. It would outlast the one that never cracked. She said it with others. Past the south gate, the river still went quiet at the bend, and light still sitting wrong on the water the way it always had. Whatever had been there was long gone. The water ran over the place anyway, the same as ever, and did not seem to know the difference. The boy went back home the back way, past the old shrine no one tended to anymore. Half the roof was down. Whatever god had lived in it was gone and forgotten, and weeds had come up through the steps. There was a girl on the ground in front of it, her robes scattered and tainted. She was holding someone, a man, his head in her arms, the rest of him too still. The shrine lamp had been dry for years, but she was clearly visible. Faint light coming from no direction the boy could find, but he had a weird feeling it's coming from the girl itself. Her eyes were full of tears that hadn't fallen. The tears caught that light and held it, so many small points of it that her eyes looked like they had the whole night sky behind them, lights on the lights, very far away. She didn't see him. She looked into the sky, filled with despair, and still. The cold went through the boy all at once, the way it does when you step into a draught that isn't there. He blinked. The steps were empty. Weeds, broken stone, no lamp, no girl, no man. The cold left with her. He ran the rest of the way home and didn't look back. He didn't tell anyone. By the time he reached his own door, he had already begun a little to forget.